You've put in the work, years of it. You've hit milestones. Maybe you bought a home. Maybe you built a solid career. Maybe you're supporting a family. But still, something feels missing. Freedom. And that's not just bad luck. It's because one word changes everything. Leverage. Most of us were taught to work harder, but hard work has a ceiling. You only get 24 hours in a day. You trade some of those hours for money, and the moment you stop working, the income stops too. Now, leverage is not just about debt. Leverage means multiplying your effort. It means using what you already have, your money, your skills, your credit, your property, your knowledge, to create something bigger. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If you are not using leverage, you are probably becoming the leverage. Your savings sit in a bank. The bank lends that money out and earns from it. Your time goes into a company. That company grows because of your effort. Your 60-hour week builds someone else's asset. And that's why most people, when they hear the word leverage, immediately say, "I can't afford it." But that mindset shuts the door. Instead of asking, "How can I afford it?" they stop the conversation before it even begins. Because the real shift starts before a dollar ever moves. One sentence says, "This is impossible." The other says, "Let me find a way." And that question opens the door to real leverage, owning assets, building systems, and creating income that can work even when you are not working. Now, when inflation eats away at savings, leverage becomes even more important, because money sitting idle does not stay the same. Every year, prices rise. Groceries cost more. Rent costs more. School fees, healthcare, travel, everything slowly becomes more expensive. So your money may look safe in the bank, but quietly, its buying power is shrinking. That does not mean you should take reckless risks. You should always keep an emergency fund. You should always protect your family first. But money beyond that needs a job. And this is where leverage comes in. Let's say you already own a home. Over time, your home value may have gone up, and your loan may have gone down. That difference is called home equity, the part of the home that truly belongs to you. Now, imagine a real estate market dips in another area of your country. Prices come down. Good rental properties become available at better valuations. A smart investor may borrow against the equity in their existing home and use that money to buy a rental property in that discounted market. The goal is not to show off. The goal is cash flow. If the numbers work, the tenant's rent helps pay the loan. Slowly, someone else is helping you build ownership. That is leverage. You are using an asset you already have to buy another asset that can produce income.
So now you understand what leverage really is. But what if the numbers don't work? If the rent does not cover enough, if the loan cost is too high, if the area has poor demand, if you have no backup plan, then it is not smart leverage. It is just risk wearing a fancy name. The same idea applies to business. Maybe you don't own property, but maybe you have skills. Maybe you understand sales, coding, design, teaching, finance, marketing, or operations. You can leverage your skills to build a small business. At first, it may require your time, but over time, you build systems, you create a product, you hire people, you automate small tasks, you build a process that can run even when you are not personally doing every single thing. That is also leverage. You're no longer only selling your hours. You're building something that can grow beyond your hours. And in the stock market, leverage does not always mean borrowing money. Sometimes leverage simply means using your capital wisely. When markets fall, most people panic. They say, everything is crashing. But a smart investor asks, are great companies available at better prices? That is a different mindset. When strong businesses, quality funds, or dividend-paying companies become cheaper during a market downturn, your money can buy more ownership than before. And over time, those assets can grow
pay dividends or compound quietly in the background. That is not dramatic. That is not flashy. But that is how wealth often gets built. Slowly, patiently, with discipline. So the real lesson is not borrow money and become rich. No, the real lesson is use leverage only when the opportunity is real. Use leverage only when the numbers make sense. Use leverage only when the asset has a chance to produce income or long-term growth. Use leverage only when the cost of borrowing is manageable. And use leverage only when you have a backup plan if things go wrong. Because leverage cuts both ways. Used badly, it can destroy wealth faster. But used wisely, it can multiply what you already have. Your savings, your skills, your property, your credit, your knowledge, your time. That is the shift. Stop using your life only to earn money. Start using money, assets, skills, and systems to buy back your life. Because freedom does not come from working every hour forever. Freedom begins when what you own starts working with you, and eventually without you.